So, I wanted to come on here, and I know I've talked about this before, but, I wanted to clarify something. And I, legitimately want to do that here because, and I just said a lot already, so I do apologize. But I think that's common for a lot of us to do that. But anyway, I wanted to come on here and, once again, in a more updated way, explain, why I always feel like, the female artists, musical artists, up and coming or established, could really benefit from doing a music video identical to the 1986 Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer, which, by the way, celebrates its 35th anniversary this year. That's hard to believe. But, basically I wanted to come on here and explain why I've always felt this way. And I've felt this way for quite some time. Again, as I've mentioned before in some earlier videos, it goes back to when I was at Renter Center. And I wasn't working at Rent a Center, ARC, if you will. Instead, I was renting to own my computer, the big black computer that you see in the background of my 1080p 60 frames per second or 1080p 60 FPS upgraded video that I put up talking about a certain 10-minute scene in the Blue is the Warmest Color movie. Basically, I upgraded it. I converted it to 1080p from 720 to 1080p 60 frames per second. But anyway, this goes back, like I said, to some of the earlier, but this goes back, I should say, to the early 2000s because, like I said, the computer you see in the background of that video that I re-uploaded or I upgraded to 1080p 60 frames. I was going to Renter Center, ARC, to rent to own that. And one of those caseworkers that would help me out from a living perspective as well as a financial perspective called it the beast because, of course, with renting something from Renter Center or any rent-to-own place, you have to make payments monthly or bi-monthly or whatever. And I rented that, and I rented it. I had to take it back a few times, rented it again. Basically, it was the same computer and all, that would potentially be mine should I keep up the payments, and I did the best I could till I finally paid it off and I owned it. But anyway, long story short, when I was officially renting that, I got to know some of the people there. They were really nice people, and when I say they were really nice people, one of the things that they would do, and this is for any electronics place or rent-to-own place or whatever, or even places like Walmart and Target and whatnot, Best Buy, what they would do is they would show, things on the televisions to give you an idea of what the television looks like with something on it and stuff like that. And this is way before we started to get into the 720s, the 1080s, the 4Ks, and all that. This is when we had we still had, in a sense, we still had tube TVs, but they were more like flat screen tubes. You know what I mean? Basically the flat screen TVs. Not the flat screens like what I have here in my room or what we have in the living room or in the guest room or my mom's room. I'm talking the regular boxed flat screen. Still pretty much a tube TV, but the screen and the design was more square-like, if you catch my drift. But anyway, they were showing this on the screen. They were showing well, what I'm trying to say is they were showing images on the screen, and one of them was from GAC, which was Great American Country. I don't know if that channel is still around or not. And it was here that I saw a music video by Elizabeth Cook called Stupid Things. And it was a stop-motion music video. And I watched it, and there was a scene where she bit into a piece of watermelon, and then a lot of fruit just circled around her face. And the result is she turned into a fruit face. And I'll be honest, it wasn't no Peter Gabriel fruit face like in Sledgehammer, but it was still close. And she had like these containers, like these plastic containers, Ziploc plastic containers like in the background to kind of, I guess, balance things out. But yeah, she basically, after she bit into the watermelon, or piece of watermelon, it circled around and it became, along with some other fruits, and she became, her face turned into a fruit face. With the watermelon pieces being her lips, and then, her eyes having different things and all that, oranges and stuff. But yeah, that's what kind of got me, when I saw that, that's what really got me intrigued and wondering, I wonder, could females potentially do a video close to Sledgehammer? And I've always wondered that. And for a while, because I think I re-saw the video, on one of the channels, one of the country music stations, CMT or something like that. I think I saw it like when I first came back here. I saw it on the screen. And this is not, visiting or anything. This is when I first officially moved back in late fall, early winter of 2007. Basically, I was wondering, not wondering, but I was, skirming, not skirming, but skimming through the channels when I stopped at CMT, just out of curiosity. And I think I was also getting something to eat because I wasn't working at that time yet, but I was getting money through Social Security. And SSDI, that is. And all of a sudden I turn around, and all of a sudden, and they were showing music videos at that time. They were doing a music video block or something. And on came Elizabeth Cook's Stupid Things. And that was more confirmation for me to be like, okay, something's going on here. Something's telling me to, think about this, look into it, and wonder and ask questions. And that's why ever since that time frame, well, maybe a year or two later, but almost for the past decade or half a decade, I've always been curious as to, whether or not it could be done. Because I look at the fact that you have all these creative ladies out there, from Kira Greens with In Your Arms, to La D6, FK Twigs, Borak, if you will, Bojack, I think her name, to many others, established and up and coming. I look at these ladies, and I'm including things like, including artists like Katy Perry, Sia, Lady Gaga. I see all these ladies that are very creative, and I'm curious, like, man, I wonder what it would be like if they decided, eventually to do a music video in the style of Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. Because I think, honestly, it doesn't matter, like, what song they would do the video for. I think if they did their own version of, the Sledgehammer music video, especially with today's technology, I think it would go over big. I think a lot of people would really enjoy seeing it. And again, I don't think it would matter as to who would do it, what song they would use it for, or they do the video for. I think people would like it. And when I see female artists do a cover of Sledgehammer, and they do a music video for it, but it's not stop motion, but they kind of give off that vibe that, especially like when they show a silhouette of themselves behind a dressing wall, if you will. When they kind of give off that little vibe, to me, that's more confirmation that this could be done. And like I said, when you see other artists out there doing this, or doing videos to where, all you see is those lips in front of something, or pizza, this or that, that's very identical or similar to what Sledgehammer was like. To me, it not only shows the influence that Peter Gabriel's video had on even artists today, but it shows me that it can be done if they put effort behind it, or they put some effort in, time behind it. And I think, again, with the technology we have out there now, CGI, whatever the case, CGI mostly, I think it can be done. I really do. And again, this goes back to when I first got my computer, in the early 2000s. My computer, like I said, did you see in the background of the video I upgraded, I uploaded as an upgraded to basically a 1080p upgrade, if you will. Where I talk about the 10-minute scene, like I mentioned earlier, from Blue is the Warmest Color. But yeah, to me it's like a, when I saw that, and then I saw it again after I moved back here, it really made me curious as to, can it be done? And it made me more believable when I started seeing some things, out there, some videos and all that, have sort of that vibe to it from a female artist perspective, and even a male artist and band perspective, that yeah, it can be. Yeah, it can be done. So, so basically what I'm trying to get at is, every time I come out here once or twice a year, and I say that, and I talk about that the time is now for that to happen, for a female artist to step up and do that, up and coming or established, it goes back to what I saw Elizabeth Cook do. And if she could do it, and I see it somewhat influenced in videos, over the past 14 years, 15 years, if you will, if not more so, almost 20. If I could see, bits and pieces of that influenced in those videos, then I truly believe it can and should be done. And I look at the fact that you have all these up and coming artists, you have all these established artists, that some of them are still worried, some are still curious about what's going on with the pandemic, the vaccines and all that, still being cautious. Honestly, to try to shine a silver lining on all that, I don't think there's a better time to do a Sledgehammer inspired music video for this song than right now, especially, like I say, if they're still questioning or curious about what lies ahead when it comes to the pandemic, COVID, and the vaccines. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and let you know why I've always talked about it, and that's really about it. So just let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Let me know what you think about this reasoning, the story, this true story behind the reasoning as to why I do those kind of videos once or twice a year. And who do you think, legitimately, who do you think from a female up-and-coming or established musical artist perspective do you think could potentially take on doing a Sledgehammer-inspired music video with the technology, CGI, and all that we have today to their own song or whatnot? Let me know down below, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Check me out at my Teespring store. Check me out at BW Rose's Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. As well as check me out at Patreon at BW Roses. And check me out at BW Roses on Vimeo as well. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. So till next time, I'm out.